Hi, everybody. I don't know about you, but all this time during shutdown has given more time than I need to think. And that's not always a good thing. It can get me into trouble. But I've been thinking lately about two things that used to be customs, back in the day, before electricity, before all of this social media, before all of the connectedness that we have. There were customs that people understood, they were part of life, and they were just adhered to. And they were customs made just for women to help women cope with life as it was presented to us at the time. So the first one that kind of came into my head was that thought of a hope chest. Do you know what a hope chest is? We all talk about it, but do you really know? First of all, it was a chest, a big trunk, hopefully lined in cedar so everything lasted. And it was something that was made for or given to a little girl, sometimes even before she was born. And in it went everything that could be imaginable that would support her family, her home, her life, and make them comfortable, make it pretty, make it hers. Everything that went into it, her hopes, her dreams, and her plans for her future. And that hope chest really rested on the hope that she picked the right man because her whole life plan, her whole future, based on that choice, determined whether her future was going to be good, bad, marginal, short, long, whatever. And so that hope chest was more than just a physical box full of stuff that when she got married, she would unpack. It'd be like Christmas with all these beautiful things to make her home a home. And so marriage was that central focus of her hope, of her dreams. Now let's fast forward to the customs at the end of that marriage, because realistically, even then, demographics were more skewed. Men passed away long before the women did typically. And at the end of that time, when she lost her husband, there was a custom to mourn for a year, to put on a black dress, to put on drab garb, to allow yourself a full calendar year to experience all the things that happen throughout the course of that year alone, without her spouse, the first time post-marriage, to allow her that time to grieve, to mourn the loss of her husband, to mourn the loss of her marriage, to mourn the loss of the security that went along with being married. And in that period of mourning, society gave her the grace to mourn. It was understood, it was accepted, it was expected. And I think what's more important than that time of mourning, that year of wearing black, was what happened when that year was over. Now, for some women, we know they continued to mourn for the rest of their lives. It was a choice they made to continue to wear black and to mourn. But for most women, because their whole future was dependent on that spouse, and without that spouse, what did they have? That year of mourning gave them the grace at the end of that year to say, I'm done mourning. I'm ready to rejoin life. And what was the first thing she did? She got up that morning and she went to her closet and she found a dress that was not black. She found attire that was not black. After wearing black for a year, that had to be a freeing moment. And as she picked out that pretty, colorful dress in her closet, for you and I, maybe not a dress, but a blouse, but a pair of cool jeans, whatever, something that we feel good in. It was like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, announcing to the world that they were there and they were ready to live again, and that they were ready to have new hopes and new dreams and a new future based and built on the choice they make in who they're going to spend their life with. And it just makes me think about the women that have gotten divorced or separated or thinking about divorce, and the time that they spent stuck, not being able to move forward. And the question I have to ask is, we've given up that old custom of mourning For widows, yes, most widows get that grace. They have that time, and hopefully it helps them heal. But for women going through divorce, what do we do when our marriage ends? We beat ourselves up. We create all of these false expectations for ourselves and our future, and build up all the things that we did wrong and crash down all the things that we did right. So the question I have today is, when your marriage failed, when you knew it was over, did you give yourself time to mourn the loss of your hopes, to mourn the loss of your dreams, to mourn the loss of the stability you thought you had the day you married, and to mourn the loss of all the hope that went into that real physical hope chest or that emotional and mental hope chest that every little girl is raised with? So I'm going to end this there, but I have to ask you, if you're struggling, if you can't move on, if you're stuck, think about it. What were your hopes? And did you mourn them? And if not, today is as good a day as any to get on with it and get that taken care of so you can become that butterfly that you were born to be and live the life that's out there waiting for you. So I hope this makes some sense for you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.